Hi and welcome to the channel. I'm Sam and this is the Crafty Blinder van build. As we've just about finished the interior, it's time to start looking at the outside and putting our own stamp on this van. When you start to build your van, there's different stages. Obviously you've got to choose your van, then you've got to choose your layout, and then you've got to choose your kit, what you want in the van. And that there can be one of the hardest parts of your van build. And as we approached the end of our van build, we had to start deciding on what we wanted to go on the outside of the van. And this is fraught with its own problems as well, because when you're clicking on an item and adding it to your basket, you don't consider how it's going to be delivered and how it's going to come packaged. Some of the packages we got were huge. One of them was longer than our hallway. Other ones were just odd shapes. Other ones come on trucks. And to kind of share that experience with everybody, we used to run little competitions on our Facebook page, and it was basically guess what's in the box or guess what's in the package. Some of the answers we had were fantastic. Some of them were absolutely brilliant. And you know, it was a good laugh. We enjoyed doing that. But today's video is all about one of them packages.
Well, it'll never go up unless you close it.
I know this jack looks beat up and at the end of its life, but this is one of the best tools I've ever had. I must have had it 20 years now. It's never let me down. It looks a bit battered, but I maintain it every year. We change the oil every couple of years. Never lets me down. I love it, and I couldn't part with it.
When you're using a jack, always use an axle stand as well. It's there if the jack fails. Last thing you want to do is get crushed under your own vehicle, but it happens. Right, let's get this kit out. Right, left front. So left front, left rear, right middle, left middle, left rear, left front.
Just like most men of my age, I've put my fair share of IKEA furniture together. You could say I've graduated from the school of IKEA. And along the way, I've picked up a few techniques and a few things that have stuck with me. And one of them is to lay all the parts out, make sure all the parts are there. I separate them into the little groups. I check that they're all the right length. I check they're all the right pieces and sides and all the rest of it. And that helps me, it really does. It speeds the job up no end. It takes a few minutes at the beginning, but it saves you looking for them. And if you happen to have a part lost, you can actually contact the manufacturer before you start the task. There's nothing worse than being halfway through a job and finding that you're missing bits. Your van's off the road, you can't put it back together, and you have to sit and wait for this part to come so you can finish off the job. Believe you me, it happens, and I've been there.
So that should be everything separated out. It's the right hand side, this is the left hand side. This is what we're going to fit now. So I've put this sill clamp on. It goes that way, so when you tighten up the bolt, that pinches against the sill here. I'm just hoping that this doesn't line up with where I messed up last week. If it does, we're going to have to do some remedial work. But we'll crack on, get it installed. I believe it's that hole there. So let's have a look. Now, I've installed quite a few of these over the years, and basically this is all you do. Stick that in there. Let's take the nut washer off. Offer this up here. Line all these bits up first. Why does it always roll to the awkward place? This is going to be one of them jobs we could do with a third arm, guaranteed. We'll line that up with there. Do you want to know something? I read the instructions, and the instructions said you need a 13mm. This is actually 15. Let's go with a 15mm spanner here and ratchet. So it's obvious this morning I'm having a bit of a brain fart because it wasn't even a 15, it was a 17. But in my defence, it is 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm out here under the van because the rain is stopping us at every opportunity. So every time I order something, I think that'll take a few minutes to put on. It ends up taking me days. Because the weather is just against me. So let's just loosen that off a little bit. That's it, slide it onto the front. Definitely got that done. Let's drop onto this bottom bolt now. First bracket on. Let's show you what we've been doing a bit closer. So that is a chassis fitting. So it basically slots in, sits each side of the hole, and you bolt it up. First of all, let's see if we can get a good shot of this. This is your sill clamp. So for me, I put this bolt on here finger tight, Then I nip this one up. So this is the first one I tighten up first. First one first, yeah. Always do the first one first. Tighten this first. This puts this one in the position that it's going to sit naturally in. And we tighten that up. And then last but not least, this one here. This is where the sill bracket ties into the cantilever bracket. Tighten that one up last. Right. So, M10 riv nut. Let's pop that in. Oh, snug as a bug. Right. Let's get this bad boy. What's going on here? Well, we had this issue last week, didn't we? I need to have a look at that.
So it's at this point where the riv nut tool decides it doesn't want to work. It would allow you to tighten up for the initial tightening up, but once you'd compressed it, it started spinning on the centre shaft. Something I later found out was a common fault with these cheaper ones. I bought it off eBay. It was 30 quid. I thought it was a good one, but it's let me down, and we have modified it so it works now. But on this day, it just didn't want to play a ball. As a workaround, I'm having to use a spanner to tighten up the centre shaft. It does the job, but it's not the best. I even tried loosening it off and then tightening it back up to see if that does the trick, and it doesn't. It works a little while, but in all honesty, it was knackered.
Excellent. Oh, this is stressing me out. Too early in the morning to think. Let's take this out and tighten it up. Something's not quite right. Well, actually, it's done. When we bolt into that, that will actually pull the riv nut even tighter. So let's get cracked on. Obviously, they want us to use this bracket here, the main support, which I understand. But we have another point where we could add strength. So I'm not a little fella, you know, I put in a few extra pounds, and I like my dinners, and you know, if I can improve on the design a little bit, I will. I think that would be the perfect opportunity there to improve on this design just slightly. So if you've got the opportunity to do it as well, you know, why wouldn't you? The front bracket is quite substantial. This is an M8, you know, and I don't think the location of the bracket is, well, not the bracket, the fixing point is adequate enough, to be honest. So with that in mind, and the fact that I do a little bit extra weight, I feel more confident knowing that there's additional support in there. So that's it, let's get cracked on. Line everything up. Let me show you what I've done. So That's the fixing that comes with the bracket. It's right at the front, which I didn't think was the best position for it. It maybe did show it on the instructions at the back, but there's no way to get it in. So we've riveted that. I've put a bolt in that's shit, so I'll be taking that back out and I'll be putting in a decent bolt. So for now, it's not going to stop us doing what we want to do, so we'll just crack on and get the last bracket on.
With the 3 brackets fitted, it now only leaves the final part. Have you guessed what it is yet?
So what's in the box? Let's have a look. Should have maybe said what's in the well-packed box. Running boards.
The underside of the running board has 2 channels, and in them channels is 3 pairs of M8 captive nuts. Just line these up with the brackets and bolt it on, and that is the job finished. They're actually captive bolts. I always get them mixed up. It's now just a matter of lining up the bolts with the brackets, and then a little bit of fine adjustment. Yep, that's a fine adjustment. Once everything's lined up and in place, it's just a matter of then going along and tightening up all the nuts. In all honesty, fitting the running board is the easiest part of the job. The brackets and setting them up correctly is where you lose your time. Job done. I'm knackered. Easier?
Yeah, loads easier. Good.
So what was in the box, Lisa?
The running board.
Look.
Obviously. Done.
Here we are again. That's the end of another video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you like what we're doing, please consider sharing it with your friends. Thanks a lot. See you again. Thank you for all the questions and comments that we've had recently. Keep them coming because we really do like answering them. Some of them are really challenging questions.